Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. So today I have a very exciting video for you all. I'm going to be showing you how to cover your acne. So this is the #1 most requested thing in my real life. From if I do someone's makeup or someone watches me do my own makeup, they ask me, how did I cover their pimples? How did I cover my pimple? What I was using, how I came up with that, all of the questions for this technique that I have come up with for covering acne. It is very effective and something that is very obtainable for all of you. You just haven't known about it until now. So welcome, stay tuned, and I will show you guys how to cover those pesky pimples. So I'm gonna walk you guys through verbally my routine, and then I'm also going to do a second part of this where I actually take you through a tutorial live covering a pimple. For the first time in my life, literally ever, I was thrilled to have a pimple so that I could shoot this video and show you guys actually on a real life face, on a real life pimple, how this works. So I'm taking advantage of my pimple face and I'm gonna make lemonade out of lemons, and I'm going to show you guys how to do that today. So, how to cover pimples 101. So I have all my products in front of me and I'm going to walk you through what I use and how I use it. Start out with a very light, thin base layer of a foundation. I personally like to use CC cream, so I use the IT Cosmetics Your Skin But Better CC cream. I'm in the shade Fair. Fitting. But I really like this. This has a lot of SPF, it's anti-aging, it looks very natural on the skin, but it's also extremely buildable. Thin layer of this dotted around the face, and then with a moist, wet, damp beauty sponge, you're going to dab everything out, pat everything out, and make sure that it looks natural. It's a very thin layer. You should still, at this point in your routine, be able to see the pimples through it. So don't be alarmed if you still see pimples at this point. After that, you're going to take concealer. So I personally like to use liquid concealer. My favorite go-to everyday pimple coverage would be the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer. So obviously I've used quite a lot of this. I also like this for the under eyes. It's not my go-to for under eyes, but it does work for that. So if you're looking for an affordable concealer that can be used everywhere on your face, this is the #1. This is what you need to get. So I take this, slap it on there, dab, dab, dab out with your finger, go over it with the sponge. So that is what I will be showing you guys today. Then, now we get to the interesting part. This is what really sets my technique, my approach to acne coverage apart from others. I've never seen anyone else do this, and like I said, I get a lot of questions about this because it is kind of weird. So, this is the exciting moment, this is the big thing, is this brush. So I actually made this brush, not like physically like made this brush, but I have shaped the brush. I have altered the brush from its original state to make it perfect for acne coverage. And I'm going to show you how to make the brush as well as how to utilize the brush once you have it made. So this is what the brush looks like. So as you can see, it has fluffs all along the side, and then this side is flat, and this is all flat. Obviously it has powder on it because I did do my makeup and I have powder on it. But I do recommend cleaning it consistently, just as much as you clean your other brushes, if not more, because you are using this on pimples. So just side note disclaimer there, okay. But as you can see, this is a very interesting brush. So how I made this, what it does, what did it look like before? So before this brush looked like this brush. So a fluffy blending brush, just random fluffy blending brush. Disclaimer again, I do recommend if you're going to try this, use a cheap and affordable brush for you. Do not go out and use your MAC brushes, do not go use your Sigma brushes. Go and get an e.l.f. brush, do an Eco Tools brush, something that is affordable, that if you mess up, it will be fine. Because this, after you have reached this, it will never go back to this, okay? I just wanted to put that out there. So how to obtain, go from this to this, basically. These are the two differences in the brushes. So you take this when it is wet, like when you're washing your brushes, or just get it wet in general, and you're going to smush it. So just like your art teachers, you know what I'm talking about, always told you not to do, you're going to do it. I give you permission. So smush it like this, and of course if this was wet it would be working, but you're going to tap it, smush it, all of that. You're going to get it to where basically it fans out like so, but as you can see, I kind of did a little bit of it, but fans out just like this side. And then you're gonna take some scissors to it. You're going to cut up, oh, and crucial side note, that you do that when it's wet, and then you also need to dry it like that. So when it's wet, do this whole shenanigan. When it's drying on a towel, do the same thing until it is dry. You don't have to do it the entire time, but definitely check in on it, make sure it's drying the way that you want it to. Then once it's dry, you're going to take some scissors and cut off one side of it. Just a little bit, just kind of carve out an area. Make sure that some of that fluff in the middle is gone, compressed. The more you use the brush as well, the more it will naturally compress over time, but you're gonna wanna have like one side where there aren't fluffs on the side as much. So as you can see, these bristles are very short. Okay, so now you have created your magical acne brush. So when you have this brush, how do you use it? So you're gonna take, this is crucial as well, you're going to take either a loose setting powder, foundation powder. Long story short, you need a powder that has coverage to it. So it is actually in a compact pressed powder. So this is the one I'll show you just really quickly. You're going to put your brush in there, really get it filled up with powder. So see how that has a lot of powder on it. And then I've already covered this pimple, but this is the one I will be showing you here in a moment. But you're going to dab it like so. So you're gonna dab, dab, dab with the powdered side, the flat side of the brush, and then on the edges of that pimple, you're going to lightly, lightly, lightly go over and buff that area. So you're just making this look natural, and then you're gonna switch between the two. So you're gonna dab, you're gonna brush, you're gonna just make sure that that looks and feels very seamless with the rest of your makeup. So now, the last 3 steps, I know, last 3, you're gonna take a brush like so, a highlighter, fluffy kind of brush like this, and you're gonna go into the same powder, and then you're gonna dab all around the area further. This one you can be a little bit more like pulling a little bit, but for the most part on all of your brushes, all of your products, you're wanting to dab on pimples. After you've gone in on the exact area, you're gonna take the same powder, say a big brush, same technique though of dabbing everywhere. So you're gonna dab, dab, dab like that, but everywhere else is gonna have a very, very thin layer. So when you're going in with this, make sure it's super thin. You're just making sure texture is consistent. You don't want coverage to be consistent everywhere. You want your coverage focused right in on that pimple. So after all of that is said and done, then you're gonna go in with your setting spray. This is crucial if you have a lot of powder products you're working with. So you're gonna set your face, make sure that this is set. If you're extra worried about it looking natural, sponge with that setting spray and then go directly over it like this. Is how you cover a pimple like a pro. So give this a shot. Let me know if it works for you. It has worked for me and on everyone I do makeup on for years and years and years. And I've always wanted to share this technique with you guys. So if you're having trouble covering pimples, if you have a leaky zit, that's something that this is really great at, especially when you have loose powder involved. That will help soak up a lot of that. If you have a pimple that, like a scar, something that is a sensitive area, be mindful what products you're putting onto it, obviously. So take every piece of advice with a grain of salt and apply it to you in your life and give it a test out, see if it works for you, of course. But for me, this has been a lifesaver. Okay guys, so I have my Neutrogena makeup wipes, so you know what that means. The makeup is coming off. So I'm gonna remove half of my makeup, just like my chin area, since this is the pimple I will be showcasing on how to cover today. So I will be right back with a makeupless chin. So welcome back to my acne. So as you can see, I have a couple little discoloration spots. This is the only active pimple, the rest are scars. But this technique works for covering all sorts of imperfections on your face. So I'm gonna put my hair back and out of the way so you guys can focus, really focus on my pimples. So I'm gonna be taking my IT Cosmetics CC cream in the shade Fair, and we're gonna do a very thin layer. So we're gonna just do a couple of little dots like that. Take our damp beauty sponge and we're gonna do a very thin layer
over that section. So this is just going to be very, very thin.
The purpose is just to even out the complexion. So as you can see, we can still at this point see the discoloration from the pimples and from some of the scarring that I have going on, which is fine. We're still gonna cover it. So next up, I'm going to take my liquid concealer. So feel free to use a different kind of concealer, whatever tends to work for your skin type. I have pretty dry skin, so keep that in mind as we go through this. I'll be using the Maybelline Fit Me concealer on the back of my hand to avoid any contamination. I'm gonna go in with my ring finger. We're gonna go over all the little places I have discoloration. So I'm gonna mostly buff it out with my finger, as you can see. And then I'm going to go in with the sponge. See, with the concealer, this is probably what you're typically working with a normal, typical technique for covering acne. At this point, you would just powder your entire face and then move on, but this is not enough coverage for what I would like. So we will continue in. So for today, like at me, loose finishing powder, this one can look the most natural if you manipulate it the right way. So I'm gonna fill up completely my brush. So I've just dabbed it into the container like that. As you can see, it has a lot of powder on it. So then we're gonna go over all of the red areas, and this one's really great for actually showing this because you can see what that's looking like. So right now we're just dabbing, dab, dab, dab. Now I have them to where I feel like they are very well covered. I'm going to add a little bit more of that powder just on the edge only. And then we're just gonna go and we're gonna buff around those sections. So get rid of some of that loose powder, dab some more, buff some more, dab some more. And then I'm gonna touch up some of the areas. I use this, like I said, all over. So now I feel pretty good about that coverage. Now to make this look a little bit more natural, I'm gonna go with, put a little bit of powder, as you can see, onto this like fluffy highlighting brush. And now we're just gonna go over the complete area, dab, dab, dabbing, just to make sure that it has no stark, because as you saw during that section when I was dabbing on with this brush, you could see where the powder was. So this is just to get all of that going. Now with the lightest hand possible, you are going to put some on this brush, you're gonna tap it off, and then you're just gonna, again, dab, 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 dab. And this can go all over your face. So now we will use our setting spray. Let that dry for a second. And there you have it. A big difference from before, I would like to say. So that, you guys, is how you cover up acne like a pro. So I know how difficult it can be when you have acne. When I first got acne, I was so self-conscious about it that it got to a point where I did not even want to go to school. I did not want to talk to anybody. I did not want to look anyone in the eyes and be confident because I did not want them to notice the pimple. I had a lot of acne in my early teen years especially, and I still have acne pop up every now and then. And since discovering this technique, it has really worked for me. It has really made me more confident. Of course, from above lighting, from certain angles, you're still going to be able to see the texture of your acne. But this really, really diminishes the appearance of the acne, especially from far away. Even up close, you can still see the light texture of the pimple, but it makes it so much more comfortable to where it's not the first thing people are noticing on your face. So definitely something to consider in all of this, but also guys, just note that one little spot on your face, or many spots on your face for that matter, does not, like, they do not make you any less beautiful. Beauty comes from within, and it comes from your confidence, new skill you have learned today, and go forward with confidence. Go out there, give this a shot, cover up your pimples, cover it up. Great to also embrace it, embrace your pimples. It's great to embrace your skin as it is and you as you are, but if it is something that you struggle with and this will help you, then definitely take those steps to cover it and give it a shot and see if it does help make you any more confident in your own skin, because I know how difficult that journey can be. And I'm all about embracing who you are, embracing as you come, but if you do want to cover up some of the things that we can't control, like pimples, then definitely give it a shot and let me know what you think. But thank you guys so much for watching and all the likes and all the subscribers. I know I don't have that many still, but it has been such a blast doing this channel. So thank you guys for all of the support I have seen so far, and let me know what you want to see next from me down below. Have a great day.